Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a tutorial, and the first thing we're going to start off by doing is priming our eyes with the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm just adding a little bit to the eyelid and then blending it out with a Real Techniques beauty sponge. I like doing this instead of priming because it hides those blue veins and it just gives your eyelid a nice base for eyeshadow. Once you do that, you definitely want to go in and set it. So I am going to set it with the Maybelline Fit Me powder, the Set and Smooth version. Just setting that all over the lid. Then we're going to use some Scotch tape to line our eyes. It just makes it a little bit easier when going in with eyeshadow to have that crisp line, especially if you're not going to be doing eyeliner. I like to do this to have a crisp line for the eyeshadow and not have to clean it up as much. Then I'm going in with the Morphe x Kathleen Lights palette and using the lightest matte shade in the palette. It's just basically a bone colored eyeshadow, and I'm just dusting that all over the lid. We already set our concealing and our priming on the eyelids, but I just like using this as a nice base for eyeshadow anyways. And I'm going in with the Morphe E13 brush to do that. Next is the Chickadee eyeshadow from Geek and a M433 brush from Morphe. I'm deepening up the outer V and bringing it into the crease, the middle section of the eye as well. I'm blending that out. I love this color for a nice transition base shade because it's just such a pretty, I don't know, it's like a muted mustard shade. I just think it's great for basically any and all warm toned eyeshadow looks. And I'm just blending that all through. Next is the Makeup Geek shadow in Bitten, and I'm deepening up the crease a little bit. I'm bringing it down a little bit further down than the Chickadee, and I'm just kind of deepening up the entire look with this shade. And I'm blending it on the outer section and on the inner section as well, and sort of leaving the middle section blank. You don't necessarily have to do that, but it's just the technique I was using. And I'm using the NYX Ultra Pearl Mania pigment in Rust and the NYX Liquid Eyeliner in Black. I totally skipped over this, not on purpose. I was totally out of frame for all of it, so I apologize for that. My next tutorial I'll be much better. But I basically just added this pigment to the middle section of my eye, added it all over, and I used the MAC Fix Plus to wetten my brush and then applied it all over, and it makes it a really pretty foiled pigment. I line my eyelashes I line my eyelid, and I use the House of Lashes iconic false lashes. They are my absolute favorite after I applied the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. Next I just went ahead and added a little bit of Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty to my face, and then the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation, which I'm blending out again with the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. I absolutely love this foundation, and I'm sorry, it's pretty much in every tutorial lately. It's just my absolute favorite. Until I find another one that I love as much, then I'm pretty much going to be using this because it's like my all-time favorite foundation for like if I'm going out any special occasion. This is my special occasion foundation because it lasts all night long and it just feels so luxurious on the skin. Going in with the Tarte Shape Tape once again, and I'm creating that sort of outer V under eye highlight. This concealer, as you all know, is my favorite. Again, it's kind of like the foundation. Once I find something that tops it, but until then, I just absolutely love it. But I'll try and mix it up a little bit soon. I just absolutely cannot get enough of this. I'm doing it, I'm putting it in all the special highlighted places that I always do, like the forehead, a little bit on the chin, and the bridge of the nose as well. And I like to use this also for cleaning up any eyeshadow that may have gone underneath that crisp line that I'm trying to make. I use the tape, which does a pretty good job, but if you weren't to use tape and you wanted to just use concealer, this would be where you clean up that line. And I'm using that Set Smooth powder from Maybelline to highlight and set my under eyes and everywhere we highlighted. Next is the Morphe E59 brush and the matte and poreless version of the Maybelline powder. and I just set my face with that. And I'm going in now with my under eyes, the Sigma E30 brush, and I'm basically mimicking what I did on my top lid to my bottom lid. That really pretty Chickadee shade on the bottom first, and then we're going to deepen it up with Bitten on the outer corner. This brush right here is just a flat definer brush from Crown, and I pulled it into the top eyeshadow a little bit as well, so I made it look a little bit more cohesive and blown out. And now I am using the Shade and Light Contour Palette with the W20 Angled Eye Brush. From, I don't remember the brand. It's a brand I got in my Ipsy Glam bag, so I will link it down below for y'all. Sorry about that. But I am just carving out my nose a little bit. I like to contour my nose because it makes it look a little bit more defined and put together. And it just kind of, I think, makes the whole look a little bit more put together. So I'm going to go over that a little bit with my Beauty Blender or my Real Technique sponge and kind of soften up the contour a little bit. This right here, I'm going in with the Crown C405 contour brush and again with the Shade and Light contour palette to carve out those cheekbones. And then we'll use the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer and a Morphe angled face brush to bronze up the face. And I do use this to kind of soften up the contour a little bit because it can look a little harsh. So I just soften that up a little bit and make myself look super bronzed and make weird faces. I do like to bring my bronzer down my neck as well. Next, I'm going at the Poreless blush from Benefit, and just a regular face brush that I like using for my blush, and it's from Morphe, the Vegan Brush Set collection. Now I'm going with the Balm Mary Luminizer highlight and just a Crown fan brush. It's one of the mini fan brushes they have. I absolutely love it for highlighting. It is, I'm just obsessed with it lately for highlighting. It does the job so perfectly. Next is the RCMA No Color Powder and my Real Technique sponge. Once again, cleaning up the contour underneath with this loose powder. Letting that bake, and now I'm going in with my brows, the ABH Brow Definer in Blonde. I'm going to do this real quick since y'all have seen me do my brows quite a bit. I will link down below my brow routine video if any of y'all are curious on the extent of how, if y'all are curious about the extensiveness of how I do my brows. Once I do my brows, I do like to set them with the ABH Clear Brow Gel. It's like glue for your eyebrows. They will stay in place all day, honey. Next, I'm dusting off that powder with my same face brush, and look at there, how it just highlights that underneath area of your contour and makes those cheekbones pop. I'm using the Kathleen Lights palette, the two lighter shimmers in the palette. One's like a goldeny bronze and one's like a silver shimmer in the inner corners of my eyes, and I used a Morphe E18 brush for that. And I'm now highlighting the brow bone with the Morphe, actually it's the Crown C213 Chisel Mini Smudger. For lips I use the color Trap and the color Spritz as well, and blended it in with my finger to have a little bit of an ombre effect.